Have you ever got to the end of the day and felt like, ugh, or exhausted or drained? Maybe it's through spending a lot of time with people. Maybe you're going through a stressful time. Hello, global pandemic. Or maybe you're just an introverted or empathic person and you feel like you absorb a lot of energy from the collective, from other people. Maybe you work closely with people in your business. So important to be clear in that and protecting yourself. And today I want to share 5 ways that you can do this so that your energy is clear. You take ownership over how you want to feel and what you will and won't absorb from other people. And you can actually process and clear that stuck negative energy that you might have absorbed from anyone else. If you are new, welcome. My name is Kat. I'm a mindset and success coach for women, and I think it's so important to put yourself first in your life and in your business. And a way that you can do that is by protecting your energy from these energy vampires and even people that you love. I as a coach have to do this working closely with clients. I have to be clear in my energy so that I can support other people and not absorb whatever's going on for them. So the first thing that I recommend is water. Water is so naturally cleansing, healing, and when you get to the end of a stressful day, or if you're going through a rough time and your instinct is like, I need to just go and have a hot shower, or like I need to just run a bath. It's that sense of decompression, and not only is it cleansing your physical body, it's also cleansing your energetic body. Your energy field, which is, you could almost imagine it like a circle around your body. Water is so cleansing, and you'll know this if you feel a certain affinity with water. Maybe when you're by the sea, or maybe when you're just walking by a beautiful lake or pond. It just feels different. And so water, bathing, showering, even I've been recommended to even just like wash your hands and wash your face at the end of the day, even if like you don't necessarily want to have a shower. You can still use that cleansing power of water. Really, really powerful. And of course, it goes without saying, make sure you are hydrated so that all that energy and all those toxins can be flushed out as well. The second thing I would recommend to clear and cleanse the energy is your breath. Your breath holds so much power. It is literally your life force energy. And I often find when we're drained, when we've taken on a lot of other people's shit, we tend to get like up in our chest. And so bringing your breath down into your body, so deep belly breathing, and you can do this by putting your hand on your belly and taking a deep breath and feeling it expand. And doing this for even just a couple of minutes is going to bring your nervous system down. And you can also consciously exhale when you feel stuck, when you feel stressed, when you feel drained. Maybe you've had a hard conversation with someone. Maybe you've been around someone who's quite difficult. You can just leave that situation and be like, whew. And sometimes the intention behind the exhale can be enough in that moment to just reset. So powerful. And of course, if you want to go deeper with a release, I recommend using a proper breathwork class. I know there's a ton available online. It can be really powerful to allow your body to process stuff. My third tip is movement. So getting your body moving. If you feel there's stagnant energy, if you feel like you've absorbed something, you're not gonna shake it. You're not going to get rid of it unless you physically move it and move it through. That's why water is so great, but also physically shaking. You'll see this in the animal kingdom. After an animal has been through a stressful thing, whether it's running away from a predator, even like if you have a cat or a dog, I'm looking at my puppy asleep on the floor, if they like knock themselves or hurt themselves, or if you see a cat jump from quite a height, they'll land, and obviously the stress and the tension that they would have been holding in their body to do that, they shake it off instinctively. And if we don't move that actual cortisol like out of our body in that situation, we're holding on to it and it's staying stuck in our energy, in our body. So shaking, Taylor Swift Shake It Off recommended. I also love any kind of dance, any kind of music. It always shifts the mood, it always shifts the energy. Or of course, if you're someone who really needs to get your heart rate pumping, really needs to get a sweat on to decompress, going for a walk, this is the best thing you can do if you're feeling drained or if you're feeling like you've absorbed a lot. And I know it's sometimes the last thing you want to do, but honestly, getting fresh air, moving your body, and if you can, like, I really recommend shaking it off, dancing it out. It really does help you physically shake off that cortisol and shake off any stagnant, stuck energy that might be living in your body. Okay, so those are my 3 favourite tips to clear your energy. Now I want to share 2 tips to protect your energy. Because if you're in this situation, if you're watching this video, you need to get rid of it. You need to clear and cleanse, and then you need to develop habits and boundaries and rituals to help yourself in the future. So my 4th tip to protect your energy is to create physical boundaries in your life. Boundaries are so sacred if you're an empath, if you're an introvert, if you're someone who can find themselves taking on other people's problems, if you work in your business or in your job, closely with other people, if you deal with high stress situations, so important to have physical boundaries. A few examples that I wrote down: you could set an intention to have a physical boundary around a particular client call. So one thing that I love to do when I'm on Zoom with my clients, and this has been taught to me by a few of my coaches and it's really helped, I create a sacred healing space in my office when I've got client calls, especially if I know I'm going to be really, really helping and supporting someone with some deep work. I will light a candle, I will open the window and make sure there's fresh air in the room. I will sometimes light incense or cleanse the room. I love having my crystals. Selenite, by the way, if you're into your crystals, is amazing for protection and clearing energy. Fantastic to have on your desk. Sometimes I'll hold it against my body during a client session. So good. Creating a physical boundary like that, where you're creating the space to do that work in a way that is protecting your energy, because it's a finite space, and then when that session or that conversation or whatever it might be for you, that time with that person, you can do this for anyone in your life, it doesn't have to be work related, that is complete. You can, let it flow and allow yourself to go about your day, and not feel like you're carrying anything. Fire, especially with candles, is alchemizing, and this is why, if you ever have done like a full moon ceremony, for example, something that is recommended is anything you're releasing, anything you're letting go of, you burn that piece of paper, because fire is it's like handing it over to the elements. And so things like candles can be really helpful for that. Other physical boundaries that are more practical could be physical boundaries around your workspace. So if you take a lot of energy home with you from work, maybe your boundary is shutting your laptop at the end of the day. Maybe it's closing your diary, you know, closing your journal that you write your work to-dos on. Maybe it's closing the door of the office. And even if you already do these things, you may not be doing them with the intention of that boundary, if that makes sense. So having the intention that when this door closes, work is done, that's going to train your brain and your body to have that moment when you leave the office. So this place is where I do my work, my office. I do not work on the couch. I definitely do not work in bed. I do not work anywhere else except here in my office, and that protects my energy. Same for your self-care, you know, things like not going on your social media until 9 AM, that's another example. But setting up physical boundaries in your life is going to really help you. Maybe you find the news or social media particularly draining and you need limits on that. Really, really important. My fifth and final tip, again, this is to protect your energy, is a visualization practice that you can do whenever you're going into a situation where you want to protect yourself, you want to be in your space and standing strong in your space, and you don't want outside forces to be able to penetrate that. This visualization is totally up to you, what you envision, what feels good for you. You can do a wall, so a flower wall, a fire wall, maybe not a brick wall because that's quite harsh, but honestly, whatever works for you. Or you can do something that's more of a protective orb or shield. So some people think of it like a coat, like an invisibility cloak type thing, but instead of making you invisible, it just is zipping up and shielding you and your energy from other people. I like to imagine it like a bubble. I really like knowing that this is my bubble, like this is my personal space. Almost like those, if you've ever seen those zorbing things, those massive bubble things that you can like roll down a hill in. Not that big, but that's kind of what I imagine mine to be like. And I just picture myself in this bubble. I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm standing in my energy, and no one can penetrate that. You know, not even the most negative, draining person in the world. I can stand strong in that interaction and be able to converse with that person and not allow them to get in. And like I said at the beginning, this isn't just about people that you don't like. You know, this isn't just about energy vampires. We all have energy and we're all having this energy exchange. And so you just need to make sure that that energy exchange is diffusing and processing in a way that means you are not absorbing anything that isn't yours to absorb. You're not keeping and holding on to anything that isn't yours to hold on to. So like I say, I do this for clients, I do this with family members, I do this with people who I love and I care about. And I care about myself and I care about my energy, and I've got to protect it. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know in a comment which one was most resonant for you. I'd love to hear your experiences with protecting your energy. Any energy clearing tips that you have would be fab. Please share away in the comments, and I'll see you soon.